Happy Friday and welcome back to the weekly recap number 77. We're carrying on and we have a new face on the show today. Madi, welcome to the weekly recap and a couple months into Veeam. Why don't you give an intro to everybody?
Thank you for having me, Rick. I'm doing great and I'm really happy to be part of the community recap. I've been with Veeam for 3 months now, almost 3 months. And I'm with the product strategy team. I'm a technical analyst, and probably you saw me quite often in the community. So, yeah. And by the way, I do love the new intro with the cat Alfred. That's such a great idea.
Yeah, I needed to mix it up a little bit. We have a couple of things that we've done different, but we are sticking to the rule. Madi's been in the community. She's helped me scheme up the content here today. So let's take a look at what we have. And we're going to start with Chris Emersol, I Am Soul, in the cybersecurity community, talking about a really significant security vulnerability for the Microsoft Support Diagnostic tool. I even just double checked over on the actual Microsoft page, and there still isn't an update for this in this regard. But I do like how Chris gives a bunch of documentation about how to work around it. Pretty big deal if you ask me, Madi.
Yeah, totally. I really like the way Christian is giving very precise steps on how to use this tool. Good job, Christian, and thank you for this article.
Yeah, indeed. Thank you for sharing, as well as not just the news, but the workaround. And it's important to call that a workaround because it hasn't been updated and concluded yet. All right. Going from cybersecurity, let's go over to something fun. This is actually one of my favorite types of contents. I don't want to call it a rant, but digging into those pet peeves. Michael Paul, thank you for making the Fun Friday pretty fun with some pet peeve sharing.
Yes, I think it's a really easy to read article for like a Friday afternoon, but the message is very powerful. He's saying like backup repositories shouldn't be used for anything else other than backups and data restoration. So, Michael, I'm glad you got your pet peeve off your chest last Friday and hope you had a great weekend, by the way.
Yeah, indeed. And Michael was the co-host last week. So thanks again for that, Michael. And, the funny thing here is that the pet peeve kind of falls into almost being the worst practices. And I thought I only had 3, but then I thought about it and I had 2 more. I remember this old phenomena, DFS, desktop file system, and EFS, email file system. It drove me crazy. I saw the one above about people circumventing the regular backup with their own scripts and things like that, because Jason Buffington on our team, he likes to say a backup of a backup is not a backup. Think about that. Good one.
Yeah, definitely.
So the last one we're going to steal or showcase is the notorious KGG, Jeff Burke, out of Kubernetes Corner. Cast and Connect episodes are back on the weekly recap, and not just with Carlos the cat, but Jeff, I love you, man. He's talking about CNI, the networking technology associated, which if you're familiar with CSI for storage, this is a really good extra topic. So Jeff goes through a whole bunch of things and he talks about a couple of different technologies and how you can do that. So really, really good stuff, Jeff. Thank you for sharing about that. And, that is hilarious with the cat as the intro. And I'm not going to steal the spoiler, so you got to watch to find out the end on that one.
It was definitely very thoughtful of Jeff to just bring Carlos like a friend for Alfred. Too bad he didn't stay very long, right?
Indeed, indeed. And we actually have our new segment, our special segment. Before we wrap up, I want to highlight who's new. And wow, Madi, there were 75 plus 75 since the last recap that we have.
That's amazing, Rick. That's amazing.
It is. I love that we keep getting the traction. We keep adding new members. So big welcome to everyone. I got to say, Madi, you might appreciate this here. There's one individual, and I looked up on LinkedIn, and yeah, Lord Madi. You see that down there?
Lord Madi.
Lord
Wow.
Madi. That's not you, but
It's not
that's
me.
a gentleman. Lord Madi is the coolest username in the list here today, so I think that was all right. So, anyway, welcome everyone to the Veeam Community Hub, and hopefully you catch the mention here in the recap that we post on Friday. But Madi, kind of special department, kind of other news. We just spoke about Jeff Burke, but a big thing happened yesterday for him.
Yes, absolutely. We actually had at Kubernetes Corner, we had a discussion with Michael Cade and Jeff Burke. So that was a really, really great webinar. And I would like to also mention that Jeff Burke is our new Kubernetes Corner leader, and he has a lot of great content prepared to share it with the group. He's planning on some meetings with special guests, so just make sure you keep an eye on what's happening at Kubernetes Corner.
Yeah, big thanks, Jeff. I mean, the amount of extracurricular work he's putting in on the educational side. Kubernetes Corner is a great vehicle. The Cast and Connects are a great vehicle. Michael's 90 Days of DevOps is a great vehicle to bring up to speed. The learning.cast.io site is a great resource. I think, Madi, it's pretty fair to say there's no excuse not to have the learning resources for Kubernetes and Cast and backups. So that's a great share. Thank you so much, Jeff.
Thank you, Jeff.
Hey, and Madi, thank you for hosting with me today. Welcome to the recap. I know you're going to be back. I'm going to be mixing up the format, but it was great to have you on.
Thank you very much for inviting me, and it's going to be a pleasure to be part of the community recap. Hopefully, I'm going to get more often invited.
You will. Don't worry. We are going to rotate the co-host, but I think you might be my new regular for a while. So thank you for watching, everyone, and have a great weekend.